The Birthplace of Country Music Museum is constantly offering unique programs that look at all facets of country music. And coming up later this month, you'll have the opportunity to get involved in 2 such programs. Dr. Jessica Turner is here this morning to share with us all the details. And this first one we want to talk about is Lift Every Voice. Tell us all about it.
Well, Lift Every Voice is a series that we've been doing at the museum this fall and into the spring in honor of the new Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. Right. So we're a Smithsonian affiliate museum, and we also are a museum that has a lot of interesting and unique history ourselves. A lot of people think of country music as one style of music, but country music has many facets and a really interesting history. And a lot of those roots come into African American music styles. There's a lot of the blues in country music. There's a lot of spiritual influences. And so we wanted to be part of this conversation to bring to our audiences a lot of information about how country music is so interconnected to a lot of different music styles. This particular event on Thursday is a fun and unique one because we're actually bringing in some leaders in an African American community in Bristol to talk about Bristol's African American history. And one of the things that we'll be talking about is the fact that the building that the museum is in used to house events for the black community in the 40s and 50s during segregation. That building was used for dances for the black community. It was used for concerts. So a lot of people say, I remember when Count Basie played, and they played in that museum building, which was not a museum at the time.
Count Basie played there.
Count Basie played there.
Wow.
Yes, Fats Waller played there. So in a time when the railroad brought a lot of people through Bristol, and Bristol was a little a hub of activity, there were a lot of different people who came through. And that being a larger building, it was a truck dealership at the time, the showroom on the second floor would get cleared out for a lot of different events. So we're going to have a conversation about Bristol during that time, Bristol's desegregation, that particular neighborhood that the museum is part of is the African American historic community. So this is an important event. It's very timely at this point in history, and we think it's an important one to have at the museum.
A very unifying conversation.
It needs to be, yes.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. A little later down in the month, you've got a harp guitarist, Stephen Bennett, coming in.
Yes.
I've never heard of a harp guitar. Tell us what that's about.
Most people have never heard of a harp guitar. So on Saturday evening, we will have a harp guitarist at the museum. Now, reportedly, there was a harp guitar recorded on the Bristol Sessions, but a lot of people listen to those songs and say, I don't think that was really used on the Bristol Sessions. But a harp guitar is an instrument that is hundreds of years old. It is a mashup of a guitar and a harp. So it's a guitar that has harp strings that are also part of it, and you can have a wide range of sounds that come out of that. Now, there are really only a handful of people in the United States who play this instrument. Stephen Bennett is one of those renowned harp guitarists, and we're inviting him to the museum to play and to talk about the harp guitar. Now, the reason that we're having it at the museum is because in the early 1900s, companies like Gibson made these hybrid instruments and sold them in catalogs. And so you could buy a Gibson harp guitar, you could buy any other brand of harp guitar, a Dyer harp guitar, other kinds of harp guitars in the Sears catalog or in the Montgomery Ward catalogs. And so that's how they got out into communities, was through these mail order catalogs, and that's how they became part of the music in communities that then came to the Bristol Sessions.
Very good. 2 great events. I mean, and you all are constantly having something up there that's fun and unique.
We are.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's give the folks all the information about everything that's coming up. We got Radio Bristol tonight, Lift Every Voice, the Stephen Bennett concert. Everything can be found there at the birthplaceofcountrymusic.org. And in just a few minutes, we're going to be heading over to the kitchen where we're going to find a fajita bar ready to go for Mo.